Most of the time, these solar lights can be fixed. Sometimes it might not be worth it to fix it, but then there are times when one or two not working and you want to fix it, or you can't find a replacement set that looks like that. And the other reason is that it's really easy to fix it. So in the process, you learn a little bit about how some electronics work, how these solar lights work. I've got one here that doesn't work. So if I cover the solar cell, they don't come on. If I cover this one here, you can see that it comes on. First thing to do is we'll take it apart and clean out some of the gunk that's in there. To remove the top section, there's a kind of a tab right here, and you just turn the base counterclockwise and the top clockwise on this one. Okay, so okay, and it's off. So I'm gonna clean this separately, but most of the time there's gonna be some dirt here. Okay, to clean the top, you can just hold it upright. This way water doesn't run inside the electronics. And I'll just go ahead and wash this. Rinse it. Okay. I'll go ahead and wipe it. Sometimes the interior is kind of dirty, so okay, this one has 4 screws. Take out. Here's the battery compartment. So this section just comes off. And I took the cover off. I've already cleaned it out. So sometimes these contacts right here might be corroded. What you do is you can use some vinegar. So I dab the Q-tip with some vinegar, and you can clean this out just to get some of that stuff off. And sometimes the battery contacts can also be corroded, like here it is. So not sure if I can get that off or not, but we'll see. Well, I might have to work on it a few times. Okay. So before I start trying to figure out what's wrong with this, let's go over what a normal one, how that works. Okay. Now, right now there's a battery in it, a light. Basically, there's only like 4 components. There's the battery, which is rechargeable, the light, there's a circuit board that's in here. Not a lot of circuitry. Okay. And then you got the solar cell. Okay. And if everything's functioning properly, what happens is that if there's light from sunlight, in this case it's just a cabinet light, it will turn off the light. It will then go to charge the battery. And when it gets nighttime, okay, I'm gonna simulate that. Then instead of course, there's no electricity going to the battery. Now the battery is powering the light. So that's how it normally is, you know. In this case, this one that's not working, not sure what's working yet. So let's do a few tests. Okay, I'm gonna put this on to the side here. So I want to test to see if this battery has any electricity, and it's kind of low, 0.99 volts. So it should be, okay, here's the one that works, 1.22. This rechargeable, it's either needs to be recharged because something is not, either is the battery is not holding charge, or it's the solar light not working and it's not charging. So what I'll do is I'll get a regular battery, which is a non-rechargeable, and let's see what the voltage is. Because this is a new battery, 1.7 volts. Okay, they're usually a lot higher, even though it's rated at 1.5. It's usually higher than what it's rated for, and it's also higher voltage than a rechargeable. That's normal. So let's see what happens when I put a regular battery in here. Okay, so now I know that the light works. Not sure if the solar light works or not. Turn it over or cover it. Okay, so it's not. I'm covering up the solar lights. When I take my hand off, it should turn off. So there's a good chance that it's really the solar cell that's not working. I'm going to test the solar panel to see what works. Okay, first I'll do is take out the regular battery. That was just for testing purposes. And I'm going to clip wires to one of the leads here. And the reason I'm clipping onto because I'm going to flip it over, and kind of hard to keep these probes in the right place if I do that. So, okay. So right now there's no voltage because the solar cell is being blocked by the blanket. So let's see if it produces any electricity. Okay, so I just turned it over so that'll be pointing to the under cabin lights, and I don't see any voltage. So in this case, the problem is the solar cell. Okay, if you get voltage out of here, then that's not the solar cell. Okay, if I got 1.5 volts, or in fact, I'll go ahead and show you what a functional solar light readings are. Okay, so right now this is the one that works, and when I flip it up, you see voltage. Okay, now the end cabin light, it produces 1.1 volt. In direct sunlight, it'd be over 2 volts. So even under this condition here, it still will be able to charge a battery. In this situation, the solar cell is, it looks like that's the problem. Now in other models, older models, there's an extra part to it. it's a little sensor here. It's kind of a electric dial. What it does is it um, it senses whether there's sunlight or light or it's dark, and then it turns on and off the light appropriately. Okay. Here in these newer models, the solar cell uh, functions at both the electric eye and producing electricity. I've got these replacement solar cells, and I measured it. It's 2 inches by 2 inches, or 50 millimeters by 50 millimeters, and it's 2.0 volts. So I'm gonna see if I can replace this, and it looks like maybe there's some either screws on this side, so I might have to break this open first and see if I can uh, get to remove this section here. I was able to get a putty knife underneath it, and I'm going to go around it. I'm gonna keep it from sliding back down. Now there might be a wire in the middle. That's why I'm trying to not cut into the middle as much. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Alright. I'm gonna clean this up here. I'm gonna cut the wire here because the other solar cell doesn't come with wires, leads. So I'll have to save this wire. I was able to get most of the dirt out of here, but what it looks like is the epoxy is only applied right in the middle to keep the water from getting into the wiring and electronics underneath. So it doesn't uncover places where the screws are. So let's see if I can take those out. And it should pop out. Okay. It was just probably a piece of silicone to weatherproof it. So first thing I'll do is I'm gonna cut the tip of the wire off, and then I'm gonna strip it. Before I solder the wires to the solar cell, I'm gonna have to reinstall this. Okay, I'm gonna clean off the soldering iron here a little bit. I'm gonna tint it. I'm gonna put some solder on here first. Makes it easier to connect the wires. And the black one to the negative. Okay, that part's done. I'm just gonna test it just to make sure it's working. Okay, I'm gonna connect the meter to it. Okay, this is the positive side and the spring side is the negative. So when I flip it over, I should see, yep, I've got 1.5 volts, which is good. That means the solar cell's working. I charged the rechargeable battery overnight, so let's see. Okay, it's showing 1.4 volts, which is good. That means it charged and it's working properly. So now if I put the battery in here, so now the light comes on because the solar cell is being blocked, and so it's running off a battery. Now if I point it up, where it gets light from the under cabinet lights, then it turns off. So it's working properly. Now I just gotta glue it. Glue the solar cell onto the top of this stainless steel. So I'm gonna put some silicone on the edge here. Just to keep water from getting inside. And then I'm gonna put one around the perimeter of the hole. Yeah. As a second defense. So, okay. I'm gonna move the wire out of the way. Okay, hope it's not too much of a mess here. Alright. Well, I've got it on. And I'm gonna get as much of the excess silicone as I can. It'll easily rub off if you don't get to right away, because silicone doesn't stick that well. It's just enough to weatherproof this. So okay, I'm going to leave this upside down so that solar cells will be pressed against the stainless steel. So it'll take a few hours to set and overnight to set completely. While I'm waiting for the silicone to set, I'm just gonna go ahead and reassemble this. So in summary, I replaced the solar cells because that was the problem. Didn't give it off any voltage initially. The old one, I put a new one in and got voltage. Put in a regular battery and I tested it. Everything works as far as the light coming on. I recharged the rechargeable battery and that worked. I'm not gonna put the rechargeable battery in now because the way I've got it positioned, the light's gonna stay on and drain it. So I'll put it in after it's dried. Okay, and just twist it on. Okay. While I'm waiting for the solar cells glue to set, I'm going to charge the rechargeable batteries. Probably for at least 6 hours, maybe 8, depending on the battery. So I'll check in a few hours, 6-8 hours or so, to see if the battery voltage is up to the desired voltage. The battery's been charged overnight. Let's see what it says. 1.4 volts, that's good. All right. Okay, well, that works. And when I turn to the light, the LED turns off. So that's good. It's working great. And I've let this solar cell dry overnight, so the silicone should be dry by now. I can remove the protective film now. And it looks pretty good. Looks almost like new. This is another solar light, has slightly different symptoms. If I check the battery voltage, it says 0.6, so it's not very high. Okay, if I put a regular battery in there, it comes on. Now that's the solar cell is being covered, so that mimics nighttime, so it comes on. When I put it to the light, the solar light goes out like normal. Well, if I test the solar light to see what the voltage is, it shows about 1 volt almost. So that's kind of low compared when it's getting light from this under cabinet light. So it seems like the solar cell is not up to par. That's what the problem is. It is not charging the battery to a voltage where it could turn on the LED light at nighttime. To keep the solar lights clean, you can wash it with car wash solution. The reason why a brand like Zip Wax has a waxy residue after you dry it, so it helps to keep the dirt off. And this solar cell, even though it works, it's kind of discolored and it's opaque. Now it'll still work. If you really want to make it look better, you could mask off the edges and then sand it kind of lightly, spray it with clear lacquer. Okay, that'll make kind of shinier, nicer looking. The only thing with the lacquer is that in a few years it'll start showing cracks on it. So you might have to reapply another clear coat.